That's my baby.
I'm dying.
That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored! They did it!
Left, feet left.
What the hell was that?
Oh yeah! What the fuck are you talking about?
All right, what is up, my fam? We are back for another episode of the Athlete Spotlight. Another show us over here at A2D kind of bringing together so we can bring a little bit more of the personalized show for our athletes and for our fans to kind of connect with the athletes. So let's get this one started as we're getting ready to talk to a good friend of mine. You know, it's been a while since me and her caught up. Want to kind of touch on some things. MMA fighter, strawweight, Kyra Batara. What are we doing this afternoon, my friend?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me. It's good talking with you again. I'm just sitting here in the beautiful Las Vegas sun.
Yeah, while we're sitting here in the cold, freezing our ass off. You know, some places over here in the East Coast digging out. You're sitting here laughing it up.
I feel so bad. My mom just went to Montana and she was like, "Yeah, it was -20 over there." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm in shorts and a t-shirt."
Hey, man, that's the life, man. But that's the fighter's life too. You know, a lot of times when people don't really understand a lot of the things you guys sacrifice, like you know, you travel away from your homes to go train at some of the best training facilities, and like not just like on a regular basis, like even when you already do that, like people don't understand fighters actually go outside of their gym to go find more training to top it off. So like you guys get spread thin, and then you know, when you guys are in camp, it's no holds bar. You could be at your gym, you know, 1 week, and then two weeks later, you know, you could be in Mexico working with somebody who's going to help you with your next skill competition, your next fight, whatever it happens to be at this point in time.
Yeah, the fortunate ones, we get to do that. Like, unfortunately, we're all going through COVID right now, so it's a little harder with all that. But I'm like, man, I would kill to just go train right now, to go travel wherever. But I've been keeping it pretty low key. I'm paying 4 gym memberships right now. But as far as like MMA and jiu-jitsu goes, I've been pretty cautious. I haven't gone back to jiu-jitsu just yet. It's been over a year since I've trained, but I'm slowly getting back into boxing. I'm going to go into jiu-jitsu next week. Right now, I'm just trying to make sure that my cardio is still good. I'm lifting some weights and just doing some classes.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, you were kind of down a little bit before COVID. Like, if I was looking at it, like, we're getting close to almost 2 years since you've been able to fight as a professional. That has to be rough.
I know. I miss it so much. And that was the thing. Right before COVID hit, I did a Naga, which was my comeback tournament. I took 2 golds, 1 silver. My silver was in the absolute division, but I double gold, not a single point scored on me. 2 weeks later, I did the submissions on the shore on the Queen Mary in LA, which was so cool. And I had maybe 4 or 5 training sessions before I did that and made it all the way to the finals, doing best of the best purple belts. And so I was like, all right, this is what I need to do. I need to start training again, get back to things, and then boom, lockdown. So trying to keep my spirits high and just stay ready just in case.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can really do. I mean, like between injuries, COVID, everything like that, like, and you're in like that was one of the things I was going to ask you, because, you know, I know a lot of people have been asking you questions online and stuff like that. So I want to know, like as things kind of start to open back up and, you know, everything comes more safer for athletes and you know everyday Joes and Janes alike. Where are you going next? Are you going to stay with Combates, or are you going to look for probably, you know, anything internationally? I know one FC just made an announcement this morning, I believe, that they're starting to kick things back open, and they're putting together a nice event there. And if memory serves me, that's that's where the Mogwai's little heart's desire is.
That's a goal for sure. Well, I mean, it's been 2 years since Combate cut me. So Combate, I have no ties at all with them. I still to this day have no idea why they would cut me when I was on a 6-fight win streak. So that still, I'm very bitter about that, and I think that's why I did take some time off as well. Just not understanding, thinking that I was going to be up next for the title shot, and then to get cut out of nowhere was really heartbreaking, and it just left a bad taste in my mouth, and not wanting to train for a while. And that's why I did take so much time to myself, and that's why I got more into the wrestling scene and took a step away from the cage. But right now, after thinking about everything, after being quarantined, after taking some time away from the gyms, I love MMA. I love fighting. I'm just waiting for the right opportunity. I took a lot of brain damage 3 years ago now. 3 years ago, I had 3 concussions in 1 year, and I'm 26 now. So I do need to keep that in mind and be cautious.
And I actually, now that you talk about that, like having that many concussions in that short of a period of time, and the fact that now that you've been away from it from 2 years without any real like, dude, like you're almost back to 100%. People don't understand.
Yes.
And
no weight cuts in 2-3 years.
Dude. So. See, that's the other thing that people don't understand. You're cutting weight and then you're being concussed on top of that. People don't understand how important that balance. It's really thin when we're talking about a professional fighting athlete cutting weight and then you're also being concussed. That's why there's medical suspension, because there's still lingering effects from that. From one, cutting anywhere between, some fighters, they're upwards of 20, and those fighters are absolutely nuts. But 15 to you're cutting 15 to 10.
And that's what I would cut. I would cut anywhere from 15 to 20 pounds, and I'm 4'11", so it was taking a toll on my body. And then just being a woman too, and then cutting that much weight was really hard on my body. So I was like, the 2 years I took off were much needed, especially since I've been in the sport since I was 13.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's like I have, my ex's daughter, who, we were together through most of her teenage years, and she trained just about the whole time. And concussion is kind of what did her in, and it wasn't in the gym or anything like a tournament or anything like that. Just a couple kids jumped her, and she took some time off and went back to training, and I think she rushed back a little bit and like just wasn't ready, so she wound up stopping again. But she's been hitting me up, like she's like moved out. She's her own person now, but now she's hitting me up. I was like, where should I go train at?
Training's good. I think every woman should know self-defense, and it's a really good confidence boost as well.
And I say this a lot because I have 2 younger girls in my life, and would I would want them to compete and become professional? Absolutely. What parent who follows the sport wouldn't? But I also cut a fine line with it, because if they're not having fun, if they're not into it, I'm not going to push them through stuff like that. If they're just doing it because they don't want to do whatever task in front of them, that's one thing. But if they don't want to do it because their heart's in it, I was never wanted to make my kid do anything like that. But on to what you said, listen, like I think every, not just kid, woman, teenager, I think every person in general should have some type of combat knowledge to their hand, because I think this world would be a better place. You would see less people getting involved in the stuff like that. I mean, look what I think it was this weekend. Look what happened. The college football player was running his mouth in a bathroom to a guy that either trained or an MMA fighter, and caught a whooping. And
I didn't see that.
There was a viral video. A college football guy was getting tuned up in the bathroom. He was running his mouth to a guy who knew MMA. He hit him with a 2-3-1, put him down, took him down. His buddy sitting there double legging the guy behind him as he's on top of him, pummeling him. I don't know. The video cut off, and all I seen is his arms up like this. I'm like, someone's about to lose an arm.
Wow.
But it's one of those things where it's like, listen, like you're gonna run into those people in life who are always just gonna seek out those type of situations. You just have to have, hopefully you have the tools in place to either defuse or defend yourself. And that's
Definitely.
why I always say, like, doesn't matter, where you are in life. If you're older, if you're younger, whatever, you should have some type of wrestling, if you do MMA, some type of martial art training. Period.
Right. Yes.
And we had a question from one of our guys here. I already know this, but he wants to get this one out of there. We wants to know where does the Mogwai come from?
So I got that nickname when I was 18, getting ready for my first fight. I was training with Scott Epstein over in West Hollywood. And he always said, because I was cute and little, but then I'd turn into a gremlin when I got into the cage.
Yeah, and listen, you've done your thing. You like before before COVID, before everything that's happened. You're on a 3-fight winning streak. Last one coming by armbar. I was talking to some people as we were getting ready for this, and they were really excited for the interview. So I'm just asking what like you've done wrestling, you've done all that. Like, what if everything works? So like you have your you take a Marvel phrase. You have your reality stone. What reality are you putting forth? What do you see yourself going? ONE FC, whatever happened to be, what maybe it could be some stuff outside of the cage that you want to happen. What is a perfect world like for the Mogwai?
I don't want to finish my MMA career getting cut from Combate. Like, I've been in the game for so long that it's not fair to me. It's not fair to my fans. It's not fair to my family that I came all this way. I was killing it just to get cut. And then that's not the end of my story. So I was debating on retiring from MMA, but just the way that things ended, that's not who I am. That's not how I want to finish things. So I don't know. I'm not saying that I'm going to go out and get another 4 fights in, but I definitely want to get at least one more. I want to get at least one more. ONE FC is the dream. I'm Filipino, so I've always wanted to travel to Asia and fight over there, but we'll see. Whoever brings me the right opportunity.
Is it because it's ONE FC and it's Asia, or is it because of the scale of ONE FC has grown to over there, or is it that weight class that they have? Maybe it's the challenge over there. What is it that makes ONE FC that goal right now?
My dad has always been telling me that, if you fight ONE FC, you're gonna have all the Philippines behind you. Like, I'm Filipino, so I'm always super like, all right, yeah, let's do it. And that's the thing about with Combate, I'm Mexican as well, so having that behind me, and then just knowing where he came from, and it's a new experience traveling overseas. To this day, my favorite fight opportunity was to fight for Risen in Japan. So having those big fights and having opportunities come from MMA that I wouldn't be able to experience through anything else in life is something that I always try to take full advantage of.
Yeah.
Invicta's cool, but I mean, I'm not really trying to fight in Kansas City.
Yeah, but I don't know if you heard that that them and the UFC Fight Pass have parted ways. So
I heard, yeah, I did.
So
hear.
I think you might be starting to see a changing in what Shannon Knapp and the ladies over at Invicta Fighting Championship is doing. And like I said, they don't always fight in Kansas City. You could just be like, hey, I'm not going to Kansas City.
Right.
At least not during the wintertime. I'm not going to Kansas City during the winter months. We could do it that way.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to go to Kansas during the winter. No way.
But I'm told the barbecue is delicious there, so you have to do it.
Yeah, me too. I was told that with COVID right now, it's just there's a lot of protocols that go into play that I am so superstitious when it comes to what I do during fight week. And a lot of different organizations have spoken to me about their protocols, and being locked in your hotel room by yourself for a week with no coach, with no teammates. Like, I don't know if I could get my head in the right space that I need in order to get ready for a fight. And so that's why I've taken some time off too. I'm in no rush to go back to fighting, especially the way things are. Like, I need my family there. I need my mom there. I need a coach there. I don't like being by myself, so I'm not trying to go into a hotel room and just make sure I don't have COVID and pray that I don't get it, my coach doesn't get it. I don't know how many times I've seen cards just get dropping different events because somebody gets COVID, and I'm not trying to do that.
Like people don't understand like how much like when you're not under the veil of these bigger promotions and nothing's guaranteed, like what you fighters have to sacrifice leading up to that. Like you have to they almost have to make themselves completely broke, and the fight has to be the payoff to get back
6 to 8 weeks. It's a 6 to 8 week commitment, and right now it's 6 to 8 weeks for a gamble of, am I going to be able to fight? Am I going to get COVID? Is my coach, is someone else going to get COVID? Oh, now the whole fight's scratched. So I just wasted 6 to 8 weeks. Like, that's scary. That's scary stuff right now.
Yeah, and then it's caused you to kind of reach other avenues. And I got you knew me and you were going to eventually have to bring this up, and I got to the dynamic of that work. Like a lot of athletes have done this. Even my friend Rachel, she's been asking like how are you guys going about the OnlyFans thing? Now that obviously a lot of people have been doing it. It's not a new thing or anything like that. My thing I'm asking you is, if my memory serves me, you're also been in a committed relationship for more than a year, if I remember correctly. Right?
So I just broke up with my boyfriend.
Oh, you just broke up. All right. Oh, I'm sorry. So I'm putting daggers in the wounds right now.
It's fine. It's officially 1 week.
Damn, I killed him. Oh man.
We were together for 2 years. We were in an open relationship, which helped a lot, especially being an OnlyFans creator. I know a lot of guys have been like, I've seen some comments being like, I don't understand how you could have a boyfriend and still do that, or how your boyfriend would be okay with that. And I think it does take a certain mindset to even be on the platform, but then to be in a relationship and be on the platform, depending on what you post, of course. Being that there is a stigma behind it, you're going to get people saying that regardless. As soon as you attach your name to OnlyFans, people are going to assume you're doing porn. And so, that's just the stigma. It's the stigma behind it. And so I have 2 pages. I do have 2 pages. And I have a lot of fight fans. And so I've had people come up to me and comment or message me or even DM me on Instagram saying, I was a fight fan for years. I don't understand how you could be doing this. You're stoop to that level.
Oh my God.
First of all, no one's stooping down to any level. I'm doing exactly what I want to do. No one's forcing me to do anything. I just bought a house. I just bought a dog. I bought a brand new bed. I paid off my car. I paid off all my debt. There was no other opportunity during this past year that could have brought me that much income. And I'm very fortunate to have been able to do that. But it is a fucking grind. It's a full-time job for sure. And being that a lot of things were closed, we were in lockdown for how long? And this presented an opportunity for me that I never knew that I was going to get into. But I'm very happy and looking forward to new beginnings with it as well. I love it. I do love what I do. But I am very sex positive. I was in an open relationship. That's no secret. I talk about it quite a bit on my social media. So there's nothing that I'm ashamed of. And I'm just trying to introduce girls to see that having an OnlyFans doesn't mean you're a whore. You get that all the time. You must be such a slut if you're on OnlyFans. No, you can literally do whatever you want. And so I did create a page that is strictly just for
I think Brian just touched on a point that you were just saying. They were saying, isn't fighting just as much selling your body as OnlyFans?
Yes,
fuck the haters.
Yeah. And I'm I'm not getting hurt. No one's hurting. My brain is intact. I don't have to cut weight. Every day I wake up and I can do whatever the fuck I want. And it's a good life. It's a great life. I go to the gym every day. This is the most time I've ever been able to hang out with my family. Before quarantine, I was working 3 jobs, barely able to get ends meet. And so I was working 3 odd end jobs where it'd be from 9 to 11 and then from 2 to 3. And then I'd work all night. And it was every day. It was exhausting, barely getting by. And
and
I was like,
and also not having that personal connection with friends, family,
yeah, I
etc.
wasn't
Because
able
you're
to go
grinding
to my
yourself
parents'
for
house. I
nothing.
wasn't able to do anything, and I'm like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Like, there's got to be more. Like, I need to be able to do something. This is not cool right now. And so when quarantine hit, I was like, damn, like I can make something from this. But yeah, like I was saying, I started an MMA page as well. So MMA page with no explicit content whatsoever. I post a lot of training videos, do a lot of Q&As, but I have a lot of fight fans that just want to buy stuff off my Amazon wish list, or they just want to send $5 to help me with gas money. Anything and everything helps, especially being in the fight game. Like, we're
Yeah,
not rich being fighters.
Yeah, people don't
So-
know, and people don't know that. Like, they just think that, once you get to that point and you're a professional fighter, like, everything's different. Nah, like, unless you're with the big time promoters, you don't, you're not making bank like that. So I mean, in essence, like, you just have to make sure you take care of your taxes and you're good to go. It's the same thing as if you were a waitress in essence.
Exactly. And that's the thing people don't understand about fighting either, is that, yeah, you're getting X amount of dollars, but then taxes is 20%. You're paying your coach 20%. If you have two coaches, that's anywhere from 20% to 40%. If you have a manager, that's anywhere from 10% to 20%. My manager, I paid 20%. My coach, I paid 20%. Taxes 20%. So what do I walk away with?
40%.
And I took 6 to 8 weeks off work to prepare for that fight. It's silly. It's
I keep
super
sitting there
silly.
saying, like, y'all, the fighters take so many L's leading up to the fight that people don't understand it.
Yeah.
What you guys go through financially, personally, emotionally. I mean,
It's
yeah.
a wild ride. I love it. Don't get me wrong, but it's not anything for the long term, and I got bills to pay. I live on my own now.
Yeah, you live on your own. So and now I gotta say, do you think that your personal profile and your personal life kind of made that what happened to the end of your relationship kind of begin a thing to happen, or was it just a natural progression that it was time to move on?
It was nothing like that at all. And even people on my OnlyFans, because I do have a lot of content with him, and people would be like, oh, I don't want to see any content with him. Like, I don't want to have hate towards anyone. Like, I have no hate towards anyone.
Like, hold on, wait. Like, you're the one making the content. How do you get to say I don't want to see him? Like, listen.
Right? I'm like,
whoever you're with is whoever you're with. You're getting a window into my world. Like unless you're paying for something specific, no, you're gonna get whatever content I put out. Like,
100%.
oh man.
But yeah, I mean, that's why a lot of people they'll assume like we were in an open relationship, so maybe it was something like that. But it had nothing to do with OnlyFans. It had nothing to do with anybody cheating. Like, everything's fine. It just,
like, it's the natural progression.
Yeah.
You kind of grew apart. You guys found other things. I got you.
Yeah.
It's all right. It happens. You know what I mean? you'll find somebody else that'll light you up again.
I'm happy being on my own for now. I've had so many like messages, especially on OnlyFans.
Oh, I'm sure that
make the messages stop, and they're like, "I'll help you with content," and I'm like, "Yeah, like I'm good on that." That's not how this works.
Hey, listen, you're a beautiful young woman. You're young. Obviously, you're putting stuff out there. There's gonna be a lot of guys shooting their shots. I mean, did you not? I know we were talking about this before we got on the air. We don't, not watching fights like we used to. But I don't know if you've seen what happened last weekend. A UFC fighter shot his shot, and he's apparently meeting up with Miley Cyrus or something.
I didn't see who.
I think it was Juan Marquez.
I didn't see that.
Won his fight. I guess it was right around Valentine's Day. So he I guess asked Miley out in his post-fight interview, and I think she tweeted a response like shave MC in your chest and your mind, come get me, baby, or something nonsense like that. It was hilarious.
Oh my gosh, I did not see that. That's hilarious.
So guys are finding ways to shoot their shots, big, small,
Hey,
and
everything's
indifferent.
online now. Like there's not really meeting people in person. So shoot your shot, but be smart about
Like,
it.
oh my god, like I had to think of like if you would have rewound time back to like when I was younger and the dating was different for me, like not having to do that whole awkward meeting up, like starting the conversation that way where you could just. Yeah, like I could just like it's through social media, it's through the internet. I don't have to actually deal with the personal just either they respond or they don't, and you move on.
It's just so hard now because we live in this weird age where people are so comfortable with photoshopping their pictures too. So it's just like, do you look
the
like
catfish? Yeah, the whole catfish thing.
Or they put on this persona for social media and then act completely different in person. So it's like, I don't know. There's good and bad with it. I definitely prefer to meet people in person. It's hard meeting people online. My ex-boyfriend now, my ex-boyfriend and I had met on a dating app, which actually was my very first online date with a guy. So that was.
Which one was that?
What was that?
I said, which dating app was that we were using?
That was Bumble.
Oh, Bumble. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm a fan of that.
So is that something you're gonna look into when you do start dating again? Like I'm trying to let the fellas know who want to shoot the shot how to be able to shoot the shot.
Definitely don't ask me on OnlyFans. That's one thing you should never do. I would say just create a connection with me. If it's on Instagram, comment on my pictures. Actually ask me something that I could respond to. Don't send me hard eyes and just hope that I ask you how your day is. Like, don't start the conversation or try to actually be intrigued in what I'm doing with my life. But I'll probably be on dating apps much further down the line.
Oh yeah,
right
I know.
It's just to meet friends.
Enjoy life, have some fun. You're not fighting. It's kind of a carefree moment in time right now for a lot of people. So live in the moment. I mean, if I were in your shoes, I would.
I am on Hinge. I'm on Hinge currently. Not to date. I'm not trying to date anyone.
Hey Pete, you know how it is. We gotta keep it loose and fun.
Yeah.
I gotta keep Kyra on her feet too. And and speaking with hard hitting questions, you did do wrestling before. I know it's not something you would actively pursue. We have some wrestling nuts over here on A2D. I'm sure that they would like to hear your opinion on. What do you think about I know it's not something you want to do on a full-time basis, but maybe looking at some of these wrestling promotions that are up and coming, possibly working with them in the future?
I definitely would like to. I loved it. The few shows that I did Natural Born Killers twice, and then I did a few FSW shows here in Vegas, and I loved it. I love being in the spotlight. Like, I love having like cool outfits on. So, I mean, even when I fought in MMA, I always had all my gear in like superhero theme. So, I mean, that's just who I am. I was a cheerleader before everything. So I'm a showman. I'm a showman at the end of the day. I love it. Eventually, I'll look into it. I'm not opposed to anything. I like staying active. I like having a different platform for everything. But I think fighting is the next big move for me, and pursuing jiu-jitsu again to get my black belt eventually.
And you're in the and you already know I love your gym. I love 10th Planet. The Eddie Bravo system is kind of
Well, I'm actually Carlson Gracie now.
Oh, so you're crossed over. You crossed over.
Yeah.
So I got to ask you now for people who don't know, what are the differences between what Eddie does and what the Gracies do? Like if someone were to ask you, like the teaching differently.
Gracie's techniques are more traditional. Eddie Bravo is a newer system. He does a lot of stuff from your back, and so doing the lockdown, doing rubber guard. I do not do rubber guard. I do not play on my back. I hate being on my back. So, I mean, I love wrestling. I like being on top. I like being in a position where I can punch you. Carlson Gracie is just someone that's always helped me. Since I was 19, I've been training with them for gi. And I always had my belt with gi and then my belt with no gi. But I've recently parted ways with 10 Planet. I love them all to death. But right now, it's just I want to focus on getting my belt promotion with Carlson Gracie.
Hey, listen, no one's gonna listen. You get to a point where you have to belt.
Yeah.
Like people don't understand. Like you need a belt with the right instructor. You have to do it the right way. Like as much as like you want to stay loyal to this or loyal to that, like certain belts are kind of worth more, if you know what I mean.
Definitely. And that's always been a goal of mine. I've always wanted to be a black belt. So working towards that.
And the Gracie black belt is particularly special.
Definitely.
And that being your background, being the grappler, so like I totally understand that. Like that, like listen, and yeah, I'm sure Eddie doesn't have any hard feelings or anyone over at 10th Planet. Hey, listen, you're going after what you want. Your goals are your goals.
Yes.
So, hey, listen. One thing's for sure, definitely going to be looking forward to what's coming next for you. Hopefully, COVID starts to dissipate a little bit more. You can feel a little bit better about traveling, about getting in the gym, working harder. You can only do what you can only deal with what you can control. So, I guess what I'll do is typically, how we wrap things up is kind of throw it over to you. I guess let everyone know where to find you. Social media, I guess, let them guys know where to find you on your OnlyFans accounts as well. And anyone else you want to shoot out, any sponsors you might have, anything else you're doing that we didn't touch on that you want to kind of get your message out there. The time is yours, my friend.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I'm going through a transition period right now. I announced earlier I am freshly single, so I'm changing things up. But you guys can follow me on social media on Instagram and Twitter. It's just Kyra Batara. On my OnlyFans, I am currently switching over. It's going to be onlyfans.com/Kyra Batara will be my non-explicit site. So if you just want to see behind the scenes, how I eat, how I train, Q&A, non-explicit content is Kyra Batara. Explicit content fed after midnight.
So just so you know, everyone, make sure you're keeping up with everything she's doing. Like I said, this girl's a star in the making. It's just a matter of time before everyone figures it out. Regardless if it's going to be MMA, regardless if it's going to be wrestling, regardless if you find some other avenue, like you were already talking about before, MMA kind of brings weird avenues that you never would have been able to reach into before. It's why I keep trying to tell my kids to get involved in it. Like, even if you don't stick with it, you can open other doors with it.
Yes.
So, like I said, really interested to see what's going on. Enjoy the single life. Hopefully hopefully you're, we'll say a little prayer to your DMs. Other than that, as always, my friend, appreciate the time. Don't forget to send me the information so we can send me them signed cards so I can hang you up back on the wall over here.
Okay, I will definitely.
And other than that, yeah, as always, it's a pleasure. Hopefully we can get you. Here comes the dog, right? Here comes the dog, right?
The dogs are running out.
Yeah, well, I know how it goes. See, they knew it was time. Like, hey, it's that time, Mom. We gotta go.
Come on.
All right, Kyra, I'm gonna let you go. Appreciate the time.
Man.
We'll have you back on here again when we get something else lined up. All right.
Okay, great.
All right. And that was Kyra Batara. And again, everyone, really, please go and pay attention to what this girl's doing. Like, listen, she has had a lot of stuff go on, COVID, everything like that. But hey, you can see she has layers. She's smart. She's funny. She's a fighter, and obviously she's got a little bit of sex appeal, guys. So tune in at least just for that. Other than that, this was another episode of the Athlete Spotlight. We'll be back hopefully again next week, this week. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Other than that, tune in for the rest of our programming here on A2D. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you guys Saturday. Peace.